Hi there, I'm David Bacon, a Customer Success Engineer here at Algolia. During this video, I'll be showing you our Dynamic Re-ranking feature, or what we call DRR for short. DRR is built into the Algolia dashboard and uses AI to find trends in your user's behavior. Then it boosts or demotes search results accordingly. And the musician in me likens this feature to a DJ, right? The DJ's primary goal at like a party is to keep the crowd dancing and engaged. So it's really crucial for them to understand like which songs resonate the most with the audience. And so by playing these popular tracks in the right order, the DJ is really ensuring that everyone stays on the dance floor and has a good time. And similarly, DRR reorders these results based on the popularity to maximize engagement and drives clicks and conversions. So just continuing this DJ analogy, even the best DJ, whoever your favorite DJ is, needs feedback from the crowd. They need to know which tracks are really hitting the mark. And in our case, that feedback comes from user behavior data. And DRR works with what we call the wisdom of the crowd. So to get DRR really working its magic, you need to be sending events, specifically clicks and conversions, to Algolia. So let's jump into the dashboard and see dynamic re-ranking in action. So the great thing about DRR is that once you are sending the minimum number of events to trigger the model, all you have to do is click a button, a nice little CTA here. And then once this is clicked, this will take you through to the simulator to see what effects DRR can have with a simple A/B visual, A on the left and B on the right. So as you know, we like to party here at Algolia. So I'm going to type in Bluetooth karaoke microphone. Yeah, I'm going to look for a microphone. And so what DRR is showing you here is a before and after DRR. On the A, on the left-hand side, you've got before DRR, and on the right-hand side, this is after DRR. You can see in this pink label here that DRR is re-ranking 8 different products. So you can see from this demo environment, we're pretending to be a B2C retail store that's a big fan of karaoke. I mean, who doesn't love a bit of karaoke? I mean, I don't particularly, just, don't give me the mic. I'll stick to my trumpet and piano. Thanks very much. But it really here, it's just a reminder that we are only simulating, right? So on the left-hand side, the A is what you're going to see on the front of your website. On the right-hand side is purely for simulation purposes to see what the effect DRR is having. So once you're happy with the effect DRR is having, you've got two options up in the top right here. You can firstly activate re-ranking, so that's just going to push that into production for you. And then the other option is to launch an A/B test. So once you click into here, as I said before, you will be able to determine how much traffic goes through DRR. And then you'll also be able to change the duration of the A/B test too. We'll talk about this filter section in a bit. So once you've activated or simulated or put an A/B test on Algolia, then we're going to take you through to this section here. So really, DRR works in two main areas of search. It works on queries and it works on category pages. I told a little lie there, that there is an extra area which is empty searches, like your site's landing page, but this feature is a part of a beta that we're currently working on, so just consider that a little bit of a sneak peek into the future. Back to the main point. Understanding the difference between DRR on queries and on category pages is like really crucial. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. You will see up here that we have metrics like 2,668 queries re-ranked, and over here, 467 browsing facets re-ranked. So that's like category pages re-ranked. So let's just unpack a little bit about what that means. So when we talk about queries, we're referring to the individual search terms that users type in your site search bar. DRR then is analyzing the user interactions with these queries and then re-ranks the results accordingly. So the longer DRR is on, the re-ranking logic gets better with time as it learns from your customer behavior, which can change over time, which you saw in Lyle and Scott's case. So here in the dashboard, you can click in the search bar and it will give you a list of queries that DRR is working on. So when you click on one of them, then you can see a bit more detail about what DRR is doing. So as you know, we do like to party here at Algolia, but I wondered if we'd be interested in a pool party or like, I don't know, an underwater party. So we're going to look for waterproof Bluetooth speakers. So as you can see here, DRR is clearly going about its business. Over here, we've got 13 products re-ranked. So what I would say is that when you're looking at this preview, it can be quite kind of overwhelming to start with because there's a whole bunch of lines, there's numbers, there's pink things and all things like that. So I wanted to let you know that, DRR, this is all to help you understand how DRR is working. And let me just break it down a little bit for you first. So firstly, I want to talk about everything Barbie, everything pink. Okay, so we're going to avert our eyes to the pinkness over here. As I've said before, we can see that this is re-ranking 13 products for this query. But what you'll see is on each of the hits, you'll see another pink kind of badge, and it's got a number and it's got an arrow. So the arrow pointing up means that this product here has been pushed up 78 places. So without DRR, this product would have been in position 79 and it's been pushed up 78 places. You have other arrows here which point down, which means that this green product here without DRR was in first position before, but with DRR it's been moved down. So that's a kind of little introduction of these kind of pink badges on the right hand side here of what DRR is doing. These lines, this matrix that's going everywhere is just telling you that this position 4 here was in position 1 when it didn't have DRR on. So that's all those lines are. So that's the barbiness, that's the pinkness. The next bit I wanted to show you is this kind of blue circle, blue-gray kind of circle here that you'll see on each product. 100, 98, 98, we've got a 95 down here. So if we hover over that, what you'll find is that this is called the attractiveness score. An attractiveness score is computed on our side by DRR based on the popularity of the product, right? So it's based on the number of clicks and number of conversions. On this product, it's pretty hot right now. It's got an attractiveness score of 100, which is the highest it can be because it's got 130 clicks and it's got 19 conversions. So if we look at something which is more like 82, then we can see that this product here has got 53 clicks and 6 conversions on it. So obviously DRR has placed that further down. So we've discussed queries. I want to just talk about category pages or what we call browse with Algolia. If Algolia powers your category pages, your PLPs, your product listing pages, then DRR works on those too. So let's look at some category pages. So if I delete that, you can obviously see that we have these category pages here. I'm going to click on one. Let's try baby products and gifts. Again, you can see here that DRR is going about its business. It's re-ranking 11 products. You can see the first one here is moved up 6 places. This is some kind of mummy and daddy's coin toss for whoever has to change the nappy or do something like that. So here it's a really good example of something being pushed up for 6 places because it's been popular based on that category page. So let's now say, for example, that you wanted a bit more control over DRR. A very easy way to modify DRR is by going to the settings. And so while you may go to the settings a handful of times when you're launching DRR, really once it's set up, you can just kind of forget about it and it will just bubble along under the surface. So I'm going to walk you through each one of these pieces here in the settings tab. Browsing facet. Okay, this is simple. If you've already set up category pages, we're going to focus mainly on the filters and other settings below. So re-ranking filter. This allows you to apply multiple filters so that only certain items are eligible for re-ranking. So a case that I often see is that obviously you don't want DRR to push products that are out of stock. So this is also another use case for this filter. So this is really simple. All you need to do is type your attribute in there. And so what we're going to say is we don't want DRR to be ranking products that are on discount. So this is an example of how easy that is to not have those items applied with DRR. Okay, so let's move on to group similar queries. So by default, each query in Algolia is re-ranked independently. Enabling this groups queries that share the exact words but in any order. So I'm gonna stop talking and give you an actual example here because it just makes way more sense. So if you look at the query iPhone case, it's re-ranking 13 products, and we've got like a red and white case here, a kind of turquoise blue iPhone here, and then a kind of black and colorful one here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of iPhone case, I'm going to type in case. Oh, I actually have to delete that. Case iPhone. So I've typed in the two same words, but the different way around. As you can see, it's re-ranking 13 products, and these are all the same: the red and the white, the turquoise, and the black and colorful one. So that's what group similar queries is doing. Coming back to settings, we're going to talk about re-ranked hits. So here you can specify the maximum number of top results that DRR will rank, which is by default 20, but it can go down, and it can also go up to 100, which is the limit at the moment. It's like telling DRR, listen, you can rearrange the first top 20 items, and then the textual relevance and the custom ranking and the boosting will shape results after this. Event freshness. Let's turn our eyes to this event freshness button. So turning this on gives more weight to more recent events. So this is accounting for seasonality and trends. Event source index. If you have multiple indices, you can specify which one DRR should use for event data. Okay, so the keen-eyed among you are probably wondering what the advanced setting feature is here on the tab, this tab here. If you are on the Elevate pricing plan, you will see this tab because it's a beta feature in your dashboard. So, however, if you don't have access to this, no worries. It's anticipated to be in GA by the end of the year. All right, so I'm going to give you a little teaser now of what additional power that advanced DRR does bring. Firstly, here we have hourly refresh. So by default, DRR usually updates every 24 hours. But with this one, you can set it to refresh hourly if it works for your use case. Re-ranking empty queries. Now, remember I talked about that sneaky peek earlier? Well, this is it. This allows DRR to re-rank results for empty searches. So things like landing pages on your site. Multiple browsing facets. Okay, so here you can specify more than one browsing facet. So if you have complex category structures, for example, if you have like category pages, but then you also have things like brand pages, then you can add these here. So multiple browsing facets. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed learning more about our dynamic re-ranking feature. For more information, visit algolia.com or reach out to the team.